MSNBC's Keith Olbermann is pompous, overbearing, oozing an undeserved self-importance, angry, and now with the big upset win of Scott Brown, here during his college days, Cosmo, Keith adds another two nasties to his mean repertoire of ugly tricks, lousy traits, and non-applicable skills. Ungraciousness and irrelevance. Let's hear Keith Kamikaze, then we'll discuss his new two doo-doos as Keith Olbermann rants against Scott Brown.
Here's the second of tonight's quick comments. Lost in the angst about Obama and Coakley is the little recognized real headline of this vote. You have heard Scott Brown speculating, talking out of his bare bottom, about whether or not the President of the United States was born out of wedlock. You have heard Scott Brown respond to the shout from a supporter that they should stick a curling iron into Ms. Coakley's rectum with the answer, "We can do this." You may not have heard Scott Brown support a constitutional amendment banning same-sex marriage or describing two women having a child as being, quote, just not normal. You may not have heard Scott Brown associating himself with the Tea Party movement, perhaps the saddest collection of people who don't want to admit why they really hate, since the racists of the South in the 60s insisted they were really just concerned about states' rights. You may not have heard Scott Brown voting against funding paid leaves of absence for Massachusetts Red Cross workers who had gone to New York to help after 9/11. In short, in Scott Brown, we have an irresponsible, homophobic, racist, reactionary, ex-new model, teabagging supporter of violence against women and against politicians with whom he disagrees.
Phew! Did you get through Keith Olbermann okay? We'll close. 35 seconds. Jon Stewart, the great comedian's view.
Grant was a technician.
Obviously, with the stakes so high in this week's Massachusetts Senate race, emotions ran hot on both sides of the contest, peaking on election eve.
In Scott Brown, we have an irresponsible, homophobic, racist, reactionary, ex-new model, teabagging supporter of violence against women and against politicians with whom he disagrees.